Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Furtado Experience. Happy Friday, and Friday is Insight Friday, and so I got something coming hot off the press for you. And honestly, you're gonna probably say this is not groundbreaking whatsoever. I've heard this a million times, but it's so many things that we hear all the time are actually great to practice in our everyday lives, and that is building relationships. And I'm going to talk about relationships with others. I know I talk a lot about relationships with ourselves, but I really want to emphasize the importance of building relationships with others. And so one of the things that I really want to share, and I'll share a story first. So first, you all have, for those listening, I had before Impact, the community that we are building now, I was building the Better World Challenge. And so I had a podcast with it, and I had some relationships built with Maddie, who is on the team now for Impact as well. And we had met in college and kind of built the relationships. We were classmates and just kind of were talking and we're friendly. Never really hung out in college, but we're knew about each other, knew kind of about each other's goals. And so, I reached out to her about almost a year from now, about November of 2020, and was just like, hey, would love to have you on the team. I love your energy, because I knew about her, I knew her energy, I knew that she would be a great fit for Better World Challenge and Impact. While it is a little bit of a shift from her personal goals, and we've talked about that together, but that's from my understanding in our building of a relationship. So her role has obviously changed because it doesn't quite align necessarily with her mission and what she wants to do, and I want to respect that. But that's also from our relationship that we've built. And so the reason I shared that story, and she would have never been on our team if I had not chose to intentionally build that relationship. In class, I had no idea that I was going to build Better World Challenge and that she would eventually be on the team. But from being a kind human, from being inquisitive, from being curious, that led to the opportunity to have Maddie be on our team. So the lesson you can take from this story is be an active listener and be curious about every single person that you can. Obviously, if it's a room in class or all your colleagues, you can't really get to know everyone in one day. It's going to take time, but being really intentional and getting to know people is actually one of the things that I'm realizing is one of the most important things in business and in life. So I used to be the person that kind of just wanted to put my head down and go to work, and how much work can I get done, and hanging out and talking to people were a distraction. And while sometimes you do have to put your head down and go to work and put the work in, I do believe there's so much power and wisdom to building relationships with other people, and especially those people that you enjoy just spending time around. And it's not about just talking about you and what your goals and aspirations are and what the other person can do for you. It's about serving the other person. It's about really actively using curiosity. Use curiosity to get to know people and what makes them tick. Actually asking questions. It's one of the best ways to be in conversation. It's one of the most powerful things I've learned from podcasting is just be actively present and listen and be curious. Because once you get to know someone better, then you can connect them to another person, another opportunity, and it's going to keep coming around. All right, the more you can connect and help and serve other people, the more either them or someone else will see you and see you kind of being a connector and facilitator. So that's what I have for you all today. It is definitely a little bit more of a lesson that you've definitely heard before, but it's something that I really implore and encourage you to practice. And the question I'm going to leave you off on is, who and how can you start really being more intentional with being curious and actively listening and building relationships with in your life right now? You don't need to go out and DM a bunch of crazy people, not crazy people, but a crazy amount of people. There are people in your life right now that you can intentionally, actively listen and continue to get to know better. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for listening to this podcast. The only way this podcast grows and the more we can be conscious, engaged, and fulfilled is if you share this podcast and share with me what you learn on it, whether it be with my email, or Instagram or Twitter. I'll put all of that in the show notes so you can reach out to me. Thank you again. Have a wonderful weekend.